Am I the asshole? For moving out alone and not with my stepsister and lying about where I'm going to college. She never could make her own friends. She's very hard to get close to. She hardly talks. She'll talk if it's just us, but it's so painful. She never wants to do anything and just follows me around. There were times I would leave and go spend time with friends and she'd cry and I'd get into trouble for leaving her. Then our half-siblings were born and it was a shit show. I love my half-siblings. It was clear I loved them, but not my stepsister. My stepmom made that a very big deal and told me I shouldn't love some siblings more than others, I should love everyone. She also accused me of turning my half-siblings against my stepsister. But she never wanted to play with them or speak to them. Yet she would get upset when they favored me too. But mostly she hated that I favored them to her. I never wanted to spend time with her. I always had to be forced to. It showed. That didn't help. Family therapy was quit after 4 months because my dad and stepmom didn't like that so much focus was put on helping my stepsister branch out instead of helping us come together as sisters. For 2 years my dad and stepsister were planning for me and her to go to college together, to move out together so we could travel at the same time and settle in together. I made plans behind their back with my grandpa. And against their wishes I moved out in June and moved in with grandpa for the summer, and I'll be starting community college in this town when school starts back up. My dad finally found out. He and my stepmom were already pissed I moved out without my stepsister, and now they're pissed we won't be in the same school. Dad was pissed I lied to him for 2 years. I told him he left me with no choice. Am I the asshole? Until they shoved the responsibilities of what sounds like your stepmom's obviously very neurodivergent daughter onto you instead of working on helping her themselves. You're 18 AMD an adult. You are not responsible for looking after your stepsister as she goes to college. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. It's your life, you're free to live it as you please. Your father and stepmother certainly did. Best of luck. Not the asshole. They seem to think you are an emotional support sibling. You are 18. You made your own adult choices. Good for you. I don't have children, but from the outside, it looks like your dad and stepmom don't understand how siblings work. Sticking 2 kids in the same house and telling them that they are now sisters doesn't seem like a solid plan. Not the asshole. You were forced to be the friend. Constantly. Sounds like you were the one with that responsibility. Even the therapist caught it. Good for you for breaking free. Let them be mad. They are only mad because they can't use you anymore. Not the asshole. I shouldn't love some siblings more than others, I should love everyone. Now my dad and stepmom and stepsister were planning for me and her to go to college together, to move out together so we could travel at the same time and settle in together. LOL. Getting away from family is half the appeal of college. Not the asshole. Good job on getting out. How long did they think this was going to go on like this? If you decide to get an internship in college, will she go with you then too? When you get married, is she supposed to move in with you? What were you supposed to do exactly? Did they really think they could dump this person on an adult? Not the asshole. He said she was my best friend. That is genuinely creepy. Not the asshole. Sounds like dad and stepmom wanted to plan your whole entire life. Good for you to be able to break free and find your own way. Opening up about your plans, you probably would have been stopped. Not the asshole. You are your own person, not your stepsister's minder. If a year of being forced best friends and 12 years of being sisters did not cause you to form a closer bond, going to college together is certainly not going to do the trick. In fact, it may make things worse for both of you. You need your independence, and stepsis needs to figure out how to manage life and social situations without using you as a crutch. The saddest part, they failed both daughters. Not the asshole. Should like your half-siblings better than you since your interactions were never forced from the start. You can force a blended family. Your dad messed up by forcing you to spend so much time together and then punishing you for not wanting to, furthering any resentment you might have had aging her. Since your dad and stepmom made plans without caring on what you think and put the responsibility of keeping your stepsis happy instead of getting her therapy so she can learn how to socialize with others, you took the only option you had, which is your lovely grandpa. Not the asshole. The adults in your family were extremely wrong to encourage this. Shame on them. It's in nobody's best interest except theirs, so they are being extremely selfish. Not the asshole. Good for you. Your father and stepmother are terrible for not helping your stepsister who is clearly needing intervention. Instead, they blame her problems on you. That's garbage. Tell them that before you can be a sibling, they need to be parents and deal with their daughter who is obviously unwell. Not the asshole. Your dad and stepmom did just about everything wrong in trying to blend their families. They tried to parentify you to be the sister, mother, friend, caretaker of your stunted stepsister, instead giving her the attention and therapy she needed. I congratulate you on escaping, but I feel sorry for your stepsister because it sounds like the parental units couldn't be bothered. Not the asshole. I have mad respect for you, playing the long game. Most 16-year-olds couldn't make this type of plan and pull it off. Go to college, live your life, go low, no contact if needed. Not the asshole. Go out, live your life, and good luck to you. Not the asshole, and congrats for getting out of that situation. It's a shame that your dad and stepmom stopped therapy. Your stepsister could really have used help in learning social skills. They should never have tried to force that relationship. They will definitely be pissed at you for a while, so you may need to go low contact with them until they realize you're legally an adult and they can't force their plans on you. I'm glad your grandpa was able to step up and help out. Be good to him. Not the asshole, and love your grandpa for seeing you as a person and not just an extension of your family. I hope your stepsister gets the help she needs, but that isn't you or your responsibility. Your dad and especially your stepmom really did her a disservice by blaming everything on you not doing enough for her. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. It took years, but you finally did what you could for your peace and happiness. If you let it slip before you were 18, they would have given you more problems, and you know it. Your dad and stepmom are selfish AF and they deserve to deal with the consequences. Dad's pissed his built-in babysitter is gone. Run and don't look back. Your grandpa sounds wonderful. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Please live your life for you. Another example of step-parent, step-sibling done wrong. You can't force these things, and if you try, they will only resent you. Not the asshole. Not the asshole, and I'm sorry that your dad and his wife ruined the childhood of both their daughters by their insistence. I'm sorry they also have basically ruined the relationship of you and your half-siblings with projecting guilt on you for loving them. They need to get your stepsister into therapy and proper diagnosis of what was probably untreated grief of the loss of her father. You absolutely did the right thing by get out of the house so you could live your life away from this. I'm glad you have some loving grandparents to help you. And you owe these people nothing. Not the asshole. They wouldn't listen. What else were you supposed to do? Good luck in school this year. Not the asshole. Good for you. Live your life the way you want to. Nta. WTF? You're her SS, not an emotional support animal. And then they're making you feel bad when all of this is something they should try to work out with her. PLZ update us. Not the asshole at all. You're right, they left you with no choice but to lie, as the alternative is several years more misery. They really should have tried individual therapy for her as a kid to help her find her own. Constantly sticking her with someone else was always going to backfire. Even if you were the best of friends, eventually you'd have your own life and she wouldn't know how to cope any better than does now.